This week on the Jessica Builds blog, I will be writing all about crystal. On this week's field trip, we went to Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and my favorite antique store in Santa Clara to be inspired by crystal in design. I hope that you will be equally as inspired to incorporate some crystal in your design after watching this next clip. Hey, there we are at Macy's. Look at these beautiful vases. They're so sparkly. I love crystal.
So, what is crystal?
Well, I guess we can't really answer the what is crystal without first understanding what glass is, because crystal is really just glass that's been added to make it more durable and easier to etch, just like these pieces. Glass is made from sand getting heated up to a point to where it becomes a liquid, and then that becomes blown into molds or put into molds and blown into shapes in order to make glass. Well, leaded crystal, or this crystal, which is leaded glass, has had lead added to it. Now they don't add lead to it anymore. Now it's I forget what they call it. It's called, if I think about my notes, there's a silica source which they add now to the glass in order to get that appearance. It's not quite as strong and it's not quite as sparkly as lead, but it is a really good alternative to having the leaded version of glass, which is the old crystal. So if you do go into an antique store, and we're going to show some footage from an antique store, you might want to just double check, triple check that it's leaded before you give it to the kids. Speaking of kids,
Oh, Nessie.
she's so cute. Look at her showing us all of the beautiful beds. This is Baccarat. Baccarat is one of the oldest crystal making companies in the world, and that is a beautiful, flat, non-cut, non-etched crystal piece. The different styles, you have vases, you have frames, we saw little animals. This was a super cute. I love the straws. They said Baccarat on them, and I want some Baccarat straws to go through. If I can't afford the crystal, I can get the straws, right? Those cake plates. One of the reasons why I used the cake plate in the intro to this episode was because it was a wedding gift from Waterford. Look at that. Who's that?
That's me.
You're so cute. You look at you giving us a dirty look. Decanters, stem vases. On Thursday, I'm going to be sharing a how it's made video, and they actually go into the detail of how the wine glasses are cut, and each wine glass is cut by hand, and it's fascinating to see how these pieces are made, because it's not just a typical ordinary piece of glass. There's a reason why it's as expensive as it is. And here we are at my favorite antique store in Santa Clara. There was so much crystal. I was supremely impressed. I wanted to be able to go to the antique store and record this to show how vignettes can be made with the crystal that you have. Now, if you have antique leaded glass crystal, you might want to consider just using it for display, because it does have lead in it. Look at little Ness. She's so cute. Madeline, what did you notice about the amount of crystal that we saw at the antique store?
Well, I thought it was like really, really interesting, but I was more interested in the typewriters.
Look at
Let's
you.
see. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, I was so impressed by all the typewriters.
Yeah, so all of this beautiful crystal, they had Waterford, they had Baccarat, they had the cute little animals, which we'll see in a couple of minutes. They have all these little hors d'oeuvre plates and jewelry holders. There's so much that you can do with leaded glass or the new modern unleaded, non-leaded glass crystal, that it just catches the light. It's beautiful. And there's just so much to see. You should really get out and go explore yourself when you can. This week, I will be writing and talking about crystal and the various different forms. Monday will be the introduction to crystal and why I chose to write about crystal. Tuesday, I will be writing about the history of crystal, a little bit of background of the companies such as Baccarat and Waterford that have formed the crystal industry. Wednesday, I will be sharing with you some resources and potential ideas on what you could do and how you could incorporate crystal into your design. On Thursday, I will be sharing with you some factory tours and some videos on how crystal is made. And on Friday, on Free Art Friday, that's the day when I get to exercise my creative artistic abilities and come up with some free printables that you can print at home and possibly work into your decor. I'm thinking I'll probably be creating some chandeliers or something fun, maybe a little girly for you to print and enjoy. And that will be our entire week on crystal, and I hope that you go to the blog, look at all the pages, and can follow us this week on an awesome, incredible journey on everything that I know, or at least I can find in a 7-day period or a 5-day period on crystal. Thank you for liking and subscribing to these videos. We have a lot of fun making them. I hope that you learned something new. And check back with us next week when I write and talk about wool.